So around the holidays, there are some dishes which are just perennial favorites. You're talking about prime rib, you're talking about turkey, and you're talking about ham. And that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna be doing an 11-pound bone-in spiral cut ham. Now this is just your sort of ordinary ham you're gonna buy at the store. I bought this one at Costco, and it comes with one of those Glaze packets that you can put on at a certain time, but I'm not gonna use that. We're gonna be making a cranberry honey glaze for this. In fact, I already made it. I made it yesterday, and when it comes time to glaze this, I'll show you how I made it. I'll insert that part, because we're gonna be smoking this out on the grill today. A lot of times you'll hear this described as a double smoked ham because this has already been smoked. It's fully cooked. You could take a piece and eat it now, but we're gonna be adding some more smoke flavor. We're also gonna be adding a rub to this. And this is one of those wonderful things you can do with a ham like this around the holidays to really up the flavor, to really add your own touch to it. And what I'm gonna be using today is a Meat Mitch rub. I really love this on pork. It's gonna go great on this ham. Now there is moisture on the surface, but ham tends to have a very slippery exterior, so I'm gonna add a binder, and what I'm using today is just some regular old plain yellow mustard. Just gonna get some on the outside here and rub it around. And what really helps too is to have your ham on some sort of tray like this, not this outer one, but this inner one, that you can transfer onto the grill. Because like I said, we're gonna be grilling this today, smoking it out on the pellet grill. Now you could do this exactly this same way in the oven or on any other sort of grill or smoker you have. But this tray, especially because this is spiral cut, makes this much easier to move on and off. Once this is done, and even now, if you lift this up, those spiral cuts are gonna wanna fan open. So you really wanna keep this intact. And this tray really helps. So now I'm just gonna start hitting it with some rub. All right, this is good. Let's go ahead and get this out on the grill. The Camp Chef Woodwind Wi-Fi 24 is up to temp. My temp setting today is 250 and I'm using smoke level 4. For pellets today, I'm using a mixture of hickory and charwood. So let's go ahead and get our ham on and get a temp probe in there, because at about 110, that's when we're gonna glaze it with that cranberry honey glaze. And the ultimate internal temperature is really just for comfort of eating, about 145 degrees. This is fully cooked, but we wanna get it up to temp so people can enjoy it nice and warm. We got our ham partly lit by the morning sun. Let me block that so we can see it better. This is gonna be terrific. All right, let's get our temp probe in and we'll come back when we hit 110 internal. All right, we are just about to hit 110 degrees internal. It's right around the 3-hour mark. Now you could definitely do this faster by raising the temp to 275 or 300, but if you did that, I would watch for dryness. You might have to spritz, check every hour. Now the cranberry honey glaze we're gonna be using is super easy to make, so take a look at how I made that right now, and when we come back, we'll open up and get that glaze on. Now our cranberry honey glaze for this ham is really just a modified cranberry sauce, which is very easy to make, and I've made it many times. Several videos have used it. And I've got my induction burner out here with a pot on it so we can see this more easily. And I'm gonna start by adding 12 ounces of fresh cranberries. Next comes a cup of orange juice. Finally, a cup of honey. And if your honey is extra thick, you can set the jar in a bowl of warm water. That's what I did with this one. But honey's thick. That's just the way it is. And choose any kind of honey you like. If there's a flavored honey you want to use, go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my induction burner on to about power level 3, which is kind of like a medium low. And we're just gonna stir. We wanna get that honey mixed in as this starts to warm up. And there's a fan with this induction burner, so that's probably what you're hearing. And one great thing about fresh cranberry sauce is it puts all the other sort of fake cranberry sauces to shame, the kind you get in a can. I know some people love that, but when you make it from scratch, it is just so great. And turning it into a glaze by the addition of this honey, fantastic. Normally you'd be adding sugar to this. I usually add a half a cup of white sugar and half a cup of brown sugar, and that really helps sweeten this and bring the juices out of the cranberries. We're not needing that today because we've got the honey in there. That is our sweetness, and I really want that honey to shine as that source of sweetness against the tartness of the cranberries. You see that honey is still thick there. It'll start to loosen up as the heat comes up. And you really don't want to go high heat on this because you don't want to scorch the sugars in here. Because we've added that honey, there's a good amount of sugar dissolving in here. And if you've never made cranberry sauce before, what's going to happen is as these heat up, these cranberries, they're going to start to pop. And you'll see them soften, and as you move a spoon around in there, especially like a wooden spoon, you'll be able to press them against the side to really sort of help break down. That's sort of that building of the sauce and the glaze with that honey in there. And it's smelling terrific already, even at this stage. So we're just waiting for this to come to a simmer here, and you want to stir it, at least once a minute. Even more is better. And if you look carefully here, we've been going for a couple minutes, the cranberries are starting to split. As you're doing this, you may even hear or see them pop, almost like popcorn. And at this point, I can just start to feel them softening as you move the spoon through here. It's not quite as hard. It's not like a tap. You just feel a softness to them. Pretty soon, we're going to be able to help squish these against the side of our pot here. And when the cranberries do start to break down and we help them along, that's really going to thicken this. It's really going to turn into a beautiful glaze on the ham. You can see our foaming here and bubbling. That's totally normal. That settles down after a little bit, and they are really getting soft. So let's see if I go against the side and I squish. You can see they are starting to break down. They're going to release their juices. It's going to be terrific here. I'm going to turn my power level down to 2, which would be like a low flame now if you were on the stovetop. Almost just like a really light simmer here. And it's smelling great. And again, now's the time you can start using your spoon to go against the side of your saucepan here and help these along. Just gently press them, help them break down here. But we're starting to thicken there. I like my cranberry sauce to be rustic, and this is going to be great in this glaze where you actually have chunks of cranberry on the outside of the ham. You want to make sure you keep stirring here. I'm going to turn my power level down to 1. You'd be on a really low flame over a burner if that's what you were using. We just want this to slowly develop now. Usually this takes anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, just depending on how hot your burner is, the cranberries, all the other things that can affect a cook. But 15 to 30 minutes, it's usually done. And when this is done, it's going to go into a container to chill down, and then it's going to go in the refrigerator overnight, so it'll be ready for our ham cook tomorrow. Oh, look at that. You can see how that's thickening really nicely. Help any of those last whole cranberries get smushed up against the side. It's looking terrific and smelling great. It'll be a little hot, but it's a good time if you want to take a taste. Just get a little bit. Oh, that's going to be a fantastic glaze on our ham. All right, I'm going to turn off my burner. This is done. It's going to slowly cool down. And once it's cooled, I'm going to put it into a bowl, cover it. It's going to go in the refrigerator once it's chilled down, get nice and cold for tomorrow. About a half an hour before it's time to glaze our ham, I'm going to take it out of the refrigerator and just let it sit on the counter to kind of warm up a bit so it's not so thick. But this cranberry honey glaze is ready. So the glaze has been sitting out of the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Now, if you do that and you think yours is still too thick, add a couple tablespoons of orange juice, stir it up, it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and open this up and glaze our ham. That is a beauty. All right, we're gonna let that go till we reach about 145 degrees internal. So I'll bring you back when we hit that temp. All right, we have just hit 143 internal. Carryover will get us to that 145, and we've been going exactly 4 hours. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Then we're gonna get it off, get it inside, and have a taste. That is looking beautiful. Yeah, there's nothing more to do but get it off here, get it inside, have a taste, because I can't just stand here and look at it. It smells too good, it looks too good. I wanna dive in. Well, here is our gorgeous ham. The color that this finished with, I just love. I hope the cameras are showing it. It's this red like the cranberry sauce. It just held it, and it is so beautiful. It smells amazing. Nothing left to do now but take a taste. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of cut in here and get a slice out of the middle. Let's see, I'm just gonna separate, get in here a little bit. That's a great thing about spiral sliced ham. Grab a piece, take a bite. That extra punch of flavor from the rub that we gave this ham, the time in smoke. Remember, this was smoked already. We're adding some smoke flavor to the surface here especially. Those two things, before you even get to the glaze, bring amazing flavor to this. And then you put that glaze on top, that cranberry honey glaze, over the top. Oh man.